This eerie incident happened a few years ago, but the night everything completely unraveled still haunts my nightmares. If you think you know the person you live with, ask yourself, are you absolutely sure the person waking up next to you in the morning is actually who they claim to be? My girlfriend Lena was a person of absolute order. She had everything mapped out. Chaos simply didn't exist in her world. That's why her trip to California had been 4 months in the making. Her grandmother was turning 85, and Lena knew this could be her last chance to see her. A week before departure, she had meticulously packed 5 massive suitcases. "You can never be too careful," she'd repeat. But on the day of her flight, everything went wrong. Her flight was scheduled for 6 in the morning. I woke up around 9, only to find Lena still lying right beside me under the blanket. Panicking, I frantically shook her shoulder. "Lena, wake up! You overslept. Your flight's already gone." She slowly opened her eyes. Her gaze was dull, blank, completely unbothered. Why are you making so much noise?" she mumbled lazily. "Your flight left 3 hours ago. You missed the trip." I braced for panic. Instead, she just rolled over and closed her eyes. "Honestly, it should be okay," she grumbled, and within a minute, she began to snore. A deep, guttural sound she had never made before. The next few days were an absolute nightmare. Lena refused to leave the house. She barely ate anything in front of me. Yet every single night, I was woken up by disturbing noises coming from the kitchen. Stepping out quietly, I'd catch her in the dark. Cereal boxes torn to shreds, raw rice scattered everywhere, spilled milk. She'd be crouching on the floor, shoveling food into her mouth. The moment she noticed me, she'd freeze and beam a sweet, unnatural smile. "Oh, sweetie, I just wanted a late-night snack." By the end of the week, a cold realization hit me. I cautiously approached her as she sat on the edge of the bed, staring blankly at the plain wall ahead. "Honey, whatever happened to your 5 bags? I haven't seen your luggage anywhere, or your toothbrush." She froze. Slowly, agonizingly slowly, she turned around. Her eyes met mine, looking completely hollow. 2 empty black voids. "Honey," she whispered with an eerie, gleeful tone, "you know that's none of your business." For the next 2 days, she treated me like a stranger, forcing me to sleep on the couch. It wasn't until the final night, the night right before she was originally scheduled to return, that she let me sleep in the bed again, keeping her back turned toward me. Around 2 in the morning, a violent noise from the kitchen jarred me awake. Low growls, wet chewing, and the tearing of flesh echoed down the hallway. It sounded like a wild animal devouring prey. Overcoming paralyzing fear, I crept down the hall. Step by step, the sound grew louder. Just as I reached the doorway, the noises stopped dead. Then, Lena's voice echoed out, but it was distorted, raspy, and dripping with primal hostility. "Go back to bed," she screamed, shaking the walls. Terrified, I ran back to the bedroom. The second I crossed the threshold, the wet chewing resumed instantly. I lay awake for the rest of the night, praying for sunrise. When morning came, the house was dead silent. I stepped into the kitchen, only for sheer panic to set in. Blood was everywhere. Raw, frozen chicken, beef, and pork from our freezer were torn apart and half devoured across the floor. Right then, the front door lock clicked. The door opened, and Lena stepped inside in her traveling clothes, a warm, genuine smile on her face. Behind her stood those same 5 massive suitcases. "Honey, I'm home," she called out cheerily. "California was amazing. I have so much to tell you." I looked from the blood-soaked kitchen floor to her smiling face at the door and realized that for the past week, I had been living with something else entirely.